for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys can help people with any aches or pains.
Yep, we sure can. As it's getting warmer, we know more people are outside, wanting to be more active, and we know spring sports are in play as well. And so if you've got a knee or ankle injury, whether it's just a strain or a sprain, we've got specialists there to treat the weekend warrior and the athlete. For more information, visit us online at kptonline.com or call us at 364-2806.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, now with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Angus Grill, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Professor O'Cool's, Taft and Hagler, and by Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into our show on a Tuesday this week. We had Conley football last night. We have our show's replay coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Jeff Palumbo, associate head coach at East Carolina for Pirate Baseball in his 7th season, is live with us in the studio at the noon hour. The Pirates at 22-5 and all over the national rankings. And when you wake up on Monday morning, Coach Palumbo, do you wake up and look at those rankings at all, or do you just kind of, that's the noise that Coach Godwin's talking about?
That's right. I occasionally I will, but they, I think they come out around 9:30, 10 o'clock, most of the polls. And I was actually on the phone with a recruit yesterday, and he said, Coach, congrats on being number 8 or 9, or I don't even remember necessarily what he said. And I said, well, I don't even know, buddy. I have to check it out. Get on and check it out. So we checked it out together during the call, but no, it's obviously great for the program and certainly great notoriety, within the program, within the stadium. We want to make sure the guys stay focused on, as you mentioned, Coach Godwin wants to make sure we stay focused on what we can control, and we can't control what other people decide we are.
In all of your years of baseball, have you figured out why there's so many different national rankings?
Well, I think everybody just it's great for the sport, to be honest with you. It's kind of grown, and even in my career coaching, you kind of see additional polls here and there, and really it just means more people are into the sport, and we've seen that with how much television is starting to pick up the games and different things. So it's really a good thing for sure.
If you haven't seen the rankings, the Pirates are ranked as high as 6th 6th nationally. That's by perfect game. The ranking system that East Carolina goes with is D1 baseball, and the Pirates are ranked 9th in that poll. Collegiate baseball has East Carolina at 15. The National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association has East Carolina at 8. USA Today coaches poll comes out, and the Pirates at number 9. So you guys go from 6 to 15 as far as the national rankings go. East Carolina with that big week from last week. We're going to dissect that week with Coach Palumbo. We'll also take your questions or comments on our Facebook Live page. If you want to jot something down, I'll keep an eye on this side, and we'll get with Coach Palumbo on that. This is the Brian Bailey Show on a Tuesday. We're back with more on our show for you coming up right after this.
Save during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Spring Styles event. Freshen things up, make a statement, and make it exciting. Save on new looks, new colors, new styles. We have so many beautiful ways to update your home. Explore our 35,000 square foot showroom. From name brands like Bassett, Lazy Boy, Rowe, Kincaid, and Restonic, get up to 15% off plus 6 months special financing, or get special financing for 48 months. Step up your style right now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Good things come to those who wait. At Jersey Mike's, they also come to those who don't. Download our app, order ahead, and skip the line. Cut to the Chase by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports, and we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back on this Tuesday edition of The Brian Bailey Show. Jeff Palumbo live in the studio with us at the noon hour. East Carolina at 22-5. If you have a question or comment for Coach Palumbo, feel free to get on our Facebook Live feed. Just jot them down, and we will get the information to Coach Palumbo. We welcome you back to the show. East Carolina with that big week, 5-0 week. How many, 5-0 weeks, aren't that uncommon, because you had the 2 midweek games usually and the 3 conference games, and you have good weeks where you go 5-0. But that type of 5-0 game, 5-0 week is very uncommon, isn't it?
Yeah, first of my career. To get the midweek win versus Carolina, and then take 4 to start out conference play. Just the four game sets. just starting to get used to it. Starting to figure out how to navigate it a little bit, and to go through that week to start it out was certainly a good place to start, and kind of progress from there.
And I thought one of the big keys, obviously, is trying to protect your bullpen, to have arms to come in when you need them. And really, you didn't run out of arms at all. You still had guys that hadn't thrown at all.
We did. We talked about it as a staff, with Coach Godwin, yesterday, just about how it's may not necessarily be the typical 4-game series, because we did have some arms available. Certainly how you draw it up, and it's great. Hopefully it is. But I think as we evolve, we're going to have to rely on some more arms as we move through. And with the 10-run rule in effect, that wiped out 2 of the innings that we would have had to pitch, in Game 3, of the series, the first game on Saturday. So that helped a little bit. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it's definitely going to test our pitching as well as everyone else in the conference. And I've kind of said it all along when it comes to our 4-game sets. I love our depth on the mound. Coach Dietrich's done a great job with the guys, getting them ready, and I'll take our depth versus others as we evolve through conference play.
Memphis comes to town coming up this week. We'll talk more about the Tigers in just a bit. Let's go through the 5-0 week. Let's start with the Carolina game. And I think Cliff Godwin said in his post game, he said he talked with Jason Dietrich and said, I don't know what it is about these Tar Heels, but they just knock our pitching all the way around the ball yard. But the Pirates were able to come from behind in that game, and that's really big. When you look back at a season, you look back at games like that to see what kind of momentum that it begins to build.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think 3-4 run deficits I think we faced that day, and just to see the guys fight back, it was, as a coach, maybe not always the best game to go through, but really, as you said, you walk away from it and feel like, hey, we can take something away from this. We can build on this, and there's going to be opportunities, where we get down, later in the year, we're going to be able to look back on that game and continue to, keep a positive thought process and really just keep playing our game, and for it to pay off and the guys to see that and get some big swings late was huge.
You're down 4 in the 8th, you're standing at first base, and you get a runner on, then you get a home run. You got to be thinking to yourself, okay, lead's cut in half. Let's keep it going, and that's pretty much what you guys did.
Yeah, I mean, it was within 3 pitches. We told the guys it was 3 pitches. It was a home run from Seth, hit by pitch, the next pitch with Josh. There was a pitch and change in there, hit by pitch, and then the next swing from Amax gone. So it really went from a 10-6 deficit to 10-10, and you're back in the game in about in terms of real time, real play, about 35-40 seconds.
Yeah.
so it was happened fast, and it's interesting to see how the rest of the week played out after that minute or 2 stretch.
And then you guys were able to get through the 9th. Okay, you come in the bottom of the 9th, and Amax with the bases loaded sends a shot to left field. That I don't know if the outfield obviously was playing in because of the sacrifice fly and trying to gun somebody out of the plate, but it was still a long shot, and it would have easily, if they had played regular depth, it was a long sack fly, and it may have still gotten over his head.
Yeah, really just a great piece of hitting with Amax, and that was something Coach Godwin had stressed with the hitters to shorten up our swings a little bit and just identify when we needed to do that. So for Amax to step into that situation with 2 strikes and needing to really, as you mentioned, with the alignment of the defense, just need to kind of put the baseball in play. I mean, got on top of a 93-mile-an-hour fastball and kind of tomahawked it and just did a great job with it. So really clutch hitting out of him, and guys did a great job getting into position for him to be able to win the game.
When you have these 4-game sets in 3 days, and it's going to be, the Fridays are going to be the double headers. It wasn't the case this past week because of the Easter holiday and the weather moved it to Saturday. But the importance of that first game, it's really, sets the tone for the whole 4-game series, doesn't it?
It can. I think it can. And you kind of, if you're on the winning side, that's probably what you're going to preach. If you're on the losing side, you're probably going to think it doesn't matter.
Right.
So it just depends on how it goes. But look, it's at the end of the day, winning the first game of a series is always important, and that's why you tend to throw your number one pitcher to set the tone for the weekend, no question. And but we'll, as Coach said, even on doubleheader days, hey, we're playing one game. When we're playing one game today, when that one ends, we'll get ready to play the next, and that's just kind of the philosophy we try to go at. When we're going through the season, through the weekends.
How hard is that to preach? One game at a time, and one pitch at a time, and one inning at it all sounds like coach speak and so simple, but when you think about it, that's basically what the game is. It's basically one pitch at a time, and it's basically how you handle failure determines how much success you'll have.
Yeah, especially in this game, and I know a lot of sports, but especially especially in this game because it challenges you so much, and you have time in baseball right in between pitches to allow it to creep in. In basketball, you watched the game last night. Hey, there's a mistake. You turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You get a chance to get on defense and react and make a play really quickly. Well, baseball's not set up that way, so you have a chance for those internally to take what happened and either use it as a positive or it can really affect you and impact you. So we preach it. It's hard, especially for 18 to 22 year olds today. It's tough for them and something we work really, really hard at on, hey, controlling what we can control. And you guys, you hear Coach talk about it all the time. Well, we talk about it even more so on a day-to-day basis with the players, because it is hard for them, and obviously there's a lot of expectations, and sometimes with that, and you face the adversity, it can get to you. So we just try to preach, hey, make control what we can control, and teammates pick you up, and I think we saw a lot of that this weekend, and even last Tuesday with the guys picking each other up, which was fun to see, fun to watch.
And that was key in that 5-4 win over Cincinnati in the opener, because Carson Wisdom didn't have his best stuff, but then you got a guy like Garrett Saylor come in, strikes out 8 and 4 perfect innings. I mean, he just took control of that game until the Pirates were able offensively to take the lead, and that was an AMAC homer.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys have been stepping up doing that, and Josh Gross did that on Tuesday with Carolina.
Yes, he did.
He came into the game, we were down, and it was one of those things that the game could really go either way, and he came out, had an unbelievable couple innings and just shut them down, and really on a night when no one had been able to do that on our pitching staff, and it gave us the chance to have the big inning, and all of a sudden the tides turned, and Garrett was tremendous on Thursday, doing the exact same thing, coming into a situation we're down, just go out there and just absolutely, I think he threw, just flooded the zone. I think 75% strikes and had 4 pitches working, and as fans have seen, when Garrett's pitching at his peak, he's pretty tough.
When you look at how baseball is designed, I mean, that's the fascinating part to me. We all know the parts, and we all know the parts maybe for the guys in purple are a little better than the parts for the other team, but those parts still have to work. And the other team, as Coach Logan used to always say, the other team works hard too. They practice hard too. Sure. But it's just fascinating to me that one week one guy won't have it, and next week he's the best out there.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw that this weekend with guys stepping up. I mean, that's when coaches talk about depth, I mean, that's really what they're referring to. Not necessarily always, hey, if a guy gets hurt, this guy can step in for him, but it's just the group of players that it's tough when you're in the opposing dugout and you look up and all of a sudden Riley Johnson hits a grand slam and you're like, hey man, I didn't see that coming out of that guy this weekend, right? So it just wears on the other team, and so those guys have stepped up, and we coach has done a great job continuing to get them ready, and even though they may not be getting as many at bats early in the year or as many innings on the mound, just trying to stay ready. And you talk about a guy like Garrett, his first year he wasn't pitching much at all, and all of a sudden he's in a regional game, and pitching in that 5-game stretch where we had to win a bunch of games. So it's starting to pay off now, right? Later in his career, you're starting to see him take advantage of situations when they're presented and running with them. So fun to watch those guys step up when their numbers are called.
Game 2, Pirates win 7-0 on that Friday game. Gavin Williams got the start. He goes 6 2/3, 13 strikeouts, second straight week. He's the American pitcher of the week, and I think we're all starting to see the emergence of Gavin Williams as really maybe even being the ace of the staff. But he's just really has a special talent, and he's been nagging injuries year after year, but I think we're starting to see it now.
Yeah, I mean, he's pitched great. He's really come on, and it's fun to watch. Man, we're proud of him and just excited for him. Really, because as you mentioned, even as a coach, and when we recruited Gavin, you could see the special talent that he has, and just to see him kind of face some adversities that weren't necessarily in his control, and obviously you never want to see that for any kid that's in your program, and to see Gavin kind of battle through it and just kind of keep going, and very easily could have been some things that deterred him a little bit, and he's really risen to the occasion, and I was really excited for him last year because he was going to be our Friday guy, and right before the season started, breaks his fingertip in a freak rundown injury at practice, and look, and then he battles, and he's just coming back. He throws an inning here in a weekend series. We go to Charlotte. He pitches 2. He's about to slide into the Friday roll. We got his pitch count where we want it, and COVID. And, and obviously now you're not sure, how does this all play out? The draft is shortened. Thankfully for Pirate Nation, he's back, and obviously to see him kind of seize it and really take off, and he's been great for us. So excited for him individually, and certainly great for the team.
So you got 2 wins under your belt in conference play, and then you got the doubleheader, and it's just interesting that one day of baseball means so much as far as the standings go, because you guys obviously win the 2, so you're 4-0 and in first place. If you drop the doubleheader, you're 2-2 right in the middle of the pack. If you win one, the idea, I guess, in these series is to try to take 3 or 4. Realistically, I think Pirate fans are a little spoiled because I think they want to win every game they possibly can play. And if you look at the national rankings, teams lose games all the time. It's just something that happens. And I think Cliff even said that he's got to get some counseling because he hates to lose so bad. But that's one of the things that makes it great around here. But the first game, as you mentioned, Riley Johnson with the grand slam, and as you said to best, you didn't see it coming. I was the same way. He went up and got that pitch and just slapped it, and I saw the ball take off, and I thought it was going to hit the wall. But he hit it a ton.
Yeah, and it didn't surprise us necessarily. I was more talking about the other coaching staff when they look up and he's hitting a ball out. It's just not, as you go into a series and you prepare, we have got a lot of guys in our lineup that you're preparing for, and not yet is Riley maybe the key guy, but it doesn't surprise us. I mean, Riley is, I know he's not tall in stature, but Riley's got some whip in his bat, and he's hit some balls oppo. He actually hit 2 balls earlier in the series that both would have been out probably any other weekend that we played, and just the wind was blowing in from right, and even the at bat before he almost ran a ball out. So it doesn't surprise us. He's got a little bit more thump in his bat than maybe people think, but it was certainly a good way to hit your first career home run, no question.
And you talk about the depth so much, but Elaine Hoover goes out with that that really scary injury, and everything. At least what we hear is that he's on his on the comeback, on the mend. He's going to be back with this Pirate baseball team, which is great news. I mean, you hate to see anybody get hurt, especially on a play like that. But when he gets back, I mean, that just shows how much deeper this team is. I mean, because you guys haven't missed a beat, and he's an outstanding player.
Yes, he is, and we'll be glad to get him back.
Yeah.
And even just to have Lane back, here just recently in the dugout around the guys, he's just such a contagious personality. And I mean, even as coaches, he's one of those guys you look up and you'll coach 20 years, and man, he's in the top 5 of just people you'd like to be around, so it's awesome when he's back, and obviously to get him back on the field, he was off to a tremendous start, and and look, I'm sure it's going to take him some time to get back. I mean, baseball is can be tough when you haven't seen live pitching, you haven't seen those things, so who knows, but we're going to get Lane back here sooner rather than later, and we're certainly excited just to have him around and healthy and feeling good, putting weight back on, so all good things just for his well-being, and certainly we're counting down the days to get him back in the lineup.
And he's done a great job in that 2-hole, and you guys kind of experimented a little bit with that 2-hole. But it seems like usually when you guys get somebody in there, they're different types of hitters, but they still do the job.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at a couple guys that have been in there. Bryson Worrell's been in there. Zach Agnos, most recently, Thomas Francisco's been in there. They are all different. Kind of depends on some matchups a little bit there with Worrell and Agnos in terms of who Coach Godwin put in the 2-hole, and recently it's been Thomas. So obviously, if you're in the 2-hole, we believe you can do it. Coach believes you can get the job done. And as you said, they're different hitters, and maybe that specific day we're going about it just a little bit different strategy.
All right, game 4 against Cincinnati, 2-0. The Pirates win. Tyler Smith, Cam Colmore, C.J. Mayhew with that 6-hit shutout. We were talking about it before we went on the air, but that was just one of those games that you're just about dead tired. That's a lot of baseball. I don't know if the American really thought about when they decided to do this 4-game set, because you guys got a taste of it in the regionals, but still, it's very difficult.
Definitely, and I think the alignment of this weekend was different as well, where you're playing the doubleheader on the last day, and so now Game 4 is the back end of a doubleheader to start out, conference play to start out the 4-game series. So I think that in itself created a little bit more of a challenge, even so. But the guys hung in there, and as you mentioned, it looked like the bats were not where I think either coaching staff really necessarily wanted them to be, but we were able to get a couple clutch hits and kind of feed off. I think the other 3 wins kind of kept them at bay a little bit.
Well, Cincinnati limps home 0-4 in conference play, but don't you feel like they had a really good baseball team?
Yeah, any time you're playing anyone in this conference, you better be ready to play. And Cincinnati was no different. I mean, they're coming in off of an extra inning win against Louisville.
Yeah.
And
we know about Louisville.
Yeah, sure. So walking in here confident and ready to go and excited. I think every team, it's a little bit of a fresh start. When you start up conference, right? A new season, and hey, everybody's 0-0 again, and we get a chance to kind of make our mark here in the regular season. I mean, obviously, our goals are to win the regular season championship, and so we're there. So everybody's coming in ready to go, and I think after we came from behind in game one, I think that impacted them a little bit in terms of their approach, as they kind of took things, into Friday.
And you're on the field, you see more of this than we can see it from the stands, but it seemed like to me that the Cincinnati kids, they love the game of baseball, and they were really good sports about everything that went on. And I asked you this question because it seemed like the Georgia Southern series, and I was watching that on TV, but there was a lot of chippiness going on, and you get that with baseball. Mm-hmm. You've been a part of games like that where guys are chipping back and forth. You're trying to keep your kids right so nobody gets thrown out of the game. But it just seemed like there was a collision at second base, and the second baseman's helping somebody up, and I just I got warm and fuzzy watching the Cincinnati Bearcats play a little baseball.
I'll tell you what, it's funny you mentioned that, because Coach Googins is literally the nicest person on the baseball field. Their head coach and then their players are the same. At one point, I'm coaching first base, and their director of operations is saying, "Hey, coach, I'll take you. I'll take the shin guard that you're holding. Just flip it back. I'll get it, coach." And just super nice people. I don't know any way to describe it. It was super nice. We enjoy playing them, and UConn was a lot like that. Just really got along with their coaching staff. I know the two head coaches, Cincinnati and Coach Godwin, really get along well. So sometimes I don't know, it just hits off, but Coach does a great job and with the program, and you tell very, very high quality kids.
Yeah, I don't think you see the same type of thing with North Carolina when they come to town. I don't think.
Nah, a little different vibe. And you know what? Sometimes even this weekend, I looked up and I was like, they do know we're trying to beat them, right? Right. Yeah. I mean, I looked at our stats. They get Coach Googins walk by, good luck, and I said, yeah, good luck, good luck.
And maybe they won't be so nice when you guys go to Cincinnati.
Maybe
because that's another deal. Yeah. Because it always seemed like when you guys were playing UConn all those times, that it's difficult playing that many times.
It is, and everybody has a partner that they're going to play twice, and I think Houston and Wichita State, they're actually playing 8 times consecutively. So that'll be cool.
Wow.
This weekend coming up, they're going to play 4 again. So I don't know that that's the best setup, but in terms of trying to eliminate some of the chippiness you mentioned, but it's different, it's unique. But I really go back to, we're all just thankful that we're playing.
Oh, yeah.
And thankful that we're playing a conference, a conference season, and just excited to be out there, and can't lose sight of that just because we're into conference play, we're in mid-season. Still just appreciative we get to go at it.
Jeff Palumbo, our guest live in the studio. We're taking your questions or comments on our Facebook Live page. We got a couple of those coming in, so we'll get to those coming up in just a bit. Back with more on the Brian Bailey Show after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 near the airport in Greenville. The D.H. Conley football team defeated Eastern Wayne last night 49-18 at Hollywood Crossroads. The Vikings will be back in action coming up Friday night as they host South Central at 6 o'clock. The Kinston and Washington varsity football game that was scheduled for Friday night has been moved up to Thursday night at 6:30. Florida State has hired former Miami Hurricanes head coach Randy Shannon as a senior defensive analyst. Shannon had spent the last 3 seasons as defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at UCF. Major League Baseball scores from last night. The Orioles were shut out by the Yankees 7-0. The Cardinals beat the Marlins 4-1. The Braves and Nationals were postponed. The Cubs beat the Brewers 5-3. The Red Sox pounded the Tampa Bay Rays 11-2. And the Phillies beat the Mets 5-3. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
Your future is yours to create, and with the leadership development of Army ROTC, you're capable of taking command of it. Even in the midst of a pandemic, enrolling in Army ROTC prepares you to thrive as a full-time college student. Our specialized elective courses will equip you with the skills necessary to succeed in life, all while earning money for education. A strong future takes a strong force. Find out how to lead at goarmy.com/ECU. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson DAL at ecu.edu.
Pirate Radio.
It's going to change. I promise you. As I stand here, it will change. Okay, and when it does, that stadium, it's going to be rocking, and heaven help whoever walks in there to play us.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
It's 11.
That's good stuff. Jeff Palumbo live in the studio. We're taking your questions and comments on our Facebook Live page. A question came in about COVID-19 and the protocols you guys are going through now. Have they relaxed things a little bit? Are you guys still testing, a lot of you in a bubble per se?
Oh yeah, we're still testing. So relaxed. I don't see us relaxing. It's just obviously so important. So we're continuing to test and continue to stay with the same protocols that we've been going through, and obviously things, even as we get closer here to the end of the season, may even ramp up a little bit just to make sure we're staying on top of it. And biggest thing is just making sure that the guys stay within that bubble that you referenced and not go outside of it. And you see it across the landscape of college athletics that it can pop up at any time. And like I said, as we continue to evolve, and we're having such a great year so far, so we want to make sure we control what we can control, and obviously that can hinder us pretty good if we don't.
You talked a little bit about the family, for your family, and having just their interest in baseball and everything. How did you do with Mustache March this year? How does the wife take that?
Oh, she's good. She's good with it. So you know how it is.
I know how it is.
Yeah, my little daughter, she didn't know what to make of it to start with. So, but no, it's obviously for a great cause.
Yeah, it is.
And she understands it, and it's a program thing for a great cause. So it's all good.
I think I took Coach Godwin for a loop when we flashed on the Zoom after, I forget which game it was. It was one of those games you guys won, but didn't play all that well. And he was kind of down in the dumps, and he looked up and he started laughing because I had the chops going.
Broke the mood.
I said, "Hey, if you're gonna go, go big, or go home."
There you go.
We'll grow that thing out.
Absolutely.
But, and Memphis baseball is involved with that. Michigan baseball and East Carolina, and raising over $10,000 for ALS research and awareness. And it is such a great cause for East Carolina folks, because and it's not only the former coach Keith LeClaire, but some others that have been involved with the ALS, and they haven't been able to do we've done the ALS walk. I've hosted the ALS walk for the last 18-20 years, but we haven't had it the last couple of years, and they miss donations like that.
Yeah, well, no question, and obviously over the last year, so many things have been different and changed. So as we evolve, hopefully back to quote unquote normalcy, we'll hopefully some of those things will come back into play for everyone.
All right, we had another question come in. Talk about the day-by-day approach, since there won't be midweek games for the remainder of the season. How does it differ from a typical season?
Yeah, definitely different. I think Sunday and even coming off of a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's even a little bit different. But the guys were able to take off on Sunday, which is great. They don't get a whole lot of days, where they just get a chance to get away and just not have to think about it, and really needed that kind of day to relax and recover a little bit with their bodies coming off the 4-game set. And then yesterday, guys got in a good lift, and we'll go at practice here for 3 days. And honestly, as a coach, it's kind of nice. Baseball is really not. There's not a lot of practice days built into a normal season, so this is going to give us the opportunity to, I think, freshen up the bodies a little bit throughout the week. Even when you talk about relief pitchers, we were breaking it down yesterday a little bit and talking about how they're always kind of on call, so they don't get a traditional bullpen in the middle of the week where Jason and Coach Knight can work with them and really kind of fine tune some things and take some time to really keep developing, keep getting better and stay sharp. Normally they just have to be on call for the midweek game and then get through that and they're ready for Friday. And so, it's going to allow us to spend some time with those guys and also develop some of the guys that maybe have not gotten a chance to play as many innings or get as many at bats, get them in some live pitcher hitter. So we're really going to take advantage of it, and I think you can really get a lot accomplished, having a little bit more time to practice and be around the guys in a non-game atmosphere.
What did you think of that first week with when you look at your preparations coming up this week without the midweek? I mean, to me, it kind of. When I cover Pirate baseball, we all realize that we've covered it for so long that the weekend series are the most important, but those midweek games are just, they're kind of a different animal because you're not throwing your best pitchers and you have to, usually the games are higher scoring, but it's just, I think we're all going to miss those midweek games.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most interesting piece to me is going to be the offensive side. Baseball is not a game. There's a reason the major leaguers play every day, and it's because that's how the game is by design supposed to be played, so that your eyes stay sharp to 92, 93, so that you can stay on top of it. So that to me, on top of it, when you're facing, you haven't seen live pitching for 4 or 5 days, and then you get a chance to face Gavin Williams. That's going to be interesting, for other teams, and vice versa for us. You're going to be facing number one arm. So how we react to live pitching that first game out is going to be something that I'm kind of keeping my eye on. But look, it's unique, it's different, But like I said, we're trying to take it and from a coach's perspective, well, how can we utilize this time to kind of better ourselves amongst the other teams in the conference?
Do you use any live pitching in practice during the season like that?
Yeah, there will be some times. We'll do some pitcher hitter today, with some guys that maybe haven't had as many live at bats, and you do that generally. We started doing that a few years back, and that's really to get those guys that maybe a few years back, Garrett Saylor was throwing in those because he wasn't getting a chance to throw in the innings that we in game situations because we were older at that point. He was younger, and all of a sudden you look up and he's been pitching weekly in pitcher hitter, and all of a sudden now he's ready to pitch in a regional setting. He's sharp, he's ready to go, he's gotten better, he's improved. So we definitely do that a ton, and over the course of the next few days and as we evolve, that may be something we continue to do, just to even some of those regular guys, just to keep them sharp and keep them fresh. But we do a ton of tracking, a ton of stuff off machines, a ton of velocity. That's always on a daily basis, and standing in on bullpens and those things to stay sharp and continue to see live arms.
Looking at the Pirates stat sheet, and the top batting average on the team belongs to Matt Bridges.
That's right. That's right. He's probably going to stick there. I think he'll probably stick there for a bit.
I don't think he's going to get another AB, right?
Well, I don't know. He told we were talking about it the other day, so he wanted to remind us that he's still ready in case
he's still on top.
Yeah. When's his batting practice? He asked.
That was one of the magical moments this season so far, wasn't it?
I mean,
when he looked back at the dugout running to first, that was classic.
Oh, he got down there, and of course, you got an RBI out of it, and of course, the whole team is just going insane, running out of the dugout and, darn near onto the field, and the first base umpire's yelling at me and screaming at me to get them all back, and I said, hey, look, man, like, he's a pitcher.
Exactly.
He's a pitcher. Let him enjoy it. And he said, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, it's all good. There's still rules you got to follow.
Exactly. You got to go through that. Connor Norby actually leads the team in hitting, and Connor Norby's just, it seems like every time he comes to the plate, he's going to hit the ball hard somewhere. He may not get a hit every time because that's baseball, but it seems like he had a couple of strikeouts recently, and I thought to myself, well, that's not like him at all, because he puts the bat on the ball.
He does. Look, Connor's always hit, and I've talked to several professional scouts that they want to know background and different things on guys, and I said, look, Connor's always hit. He hit in high school. He came to camp. He hit at camp. I went and saw him. He hit, Coach Roselle, I think saw him initially. And, hey, man, this guy just keeps hitting doubles every time I see him. Go watch him. He hit. Send Coach Godwin to go watch him. He hit. So, and look, he's hit. His time here has been unorthodox because of the COVID, the COVID pandemic. And, obviously we had some older guys. Brady Lloyd was a great player in front of him and was older, a senior. Connor, was behind him for a year, continued to develop, just really matured over that year, and he comes in and he's hitting great before the pandemic hits last year. And fast forward another year, he gets a chance to mature physically, mentally, and he's hit since day one here. So the hitters hit, and he's a hitter.
How hard is it to keep guys where they're good players, but they have to kind of know their role? And I've said this to Cliff a number of times, that I think that's the magic of coaching is you get these guys to all buy into their role. And some guys' roles are going to change, obviously, the older they get, but they've got to be patient. And there's no patience in college sports anymore.
Oh, no, that's definitely a lost art for sure, and something that, look, you look across the landscape of any sport in college athletics, it's very, very difficult. So, I think that's where the relationship comes in with the players is a trust factor, a trust factor, and that's getting even harder to for them to really buy into that. But you see it. Within our program. In our time here. You see it over how many players have come in here, not been regular players every day, and go on to have tremendous careers. Connor Norby didn't play here as a freshman.
Right.
Not much. And now he's one of the best hitters in the country, fast forward, not even 2 years. And so it's really hard for guys to understand that. And the next guys come in, and it's great to be able to look up and say, to take Connor, say, hey, go talk to this freshman. And just tell him your experiences. And that's something Coach Godwin does a great job of, is continuing to use those resources. And Evan Krasinski, talked to the team the other day.
That had to be really cool.
Really awesome, and super proud of Evan, and he did a great job. And talking to the guys and just giving them his experiences. But again, a guy who threw one inning. He threw one inning here as a freshman, and now he's on the brink of pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals. So these stories pop up over and over and over and over again, and you hope that the guys in your program understand it, get it, and continue to stay the course, and realize that Coach Godwin's track record for having guys here. This may not be every program, but that's something I feel like makes our program special, unique, and different, and why we've been so consistent over Coach Godwin's time period here.
Yeah, speaking of Evan Krasinski, I remember being there right before opening day, and Coach Godwin was going to start him in his first start against Virginia.
Yeah.
That was number one team in the country was coming to town, and Evan's getting the start, and we're doing the interview with him, and here's a kid who threw one pitch, his freshman year, and now he's in front of the cameras and talking about it. He pitched well in that game.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Godwin was super comfortable in his first game as a head coach, right? Yeah. So, and look, Evan obviously stepped up, and it was a kind of foreshadowing for the rest of his career, which was outstanding.
Let's go down some of the other hitters and talk about their strengths. Thomas Francisco is a guy, as we said earlier, in that number 2 slot. He's adjusted well in that slot. He's hit third in the lineup. He's hit lower than that. He's a really good bat, and he can hit with power.
He does. Franny, and very, very similar in nature to Connor when we were recruiting him. He just always hit, and kind of a unique path for him at the time. He was originally committed to another school, and ended up there was a coaching change. He opened his recruiting back up, and as soon as that happened, I told his travel coach, I said, hey, he hits a double every time I see him.
Yeah.
So I think I was on live with somebody here actually at one point, and out recruiting him, watching him as a senior in high school. He had committed to us and wanted to watch him, and was on a call live, and I said, well, hey, our commit, I'm here, and live as I'm on the phone, he hits a home run. So he's continued to do that here at his time, and just really good feel for the barrel, and handles lefties, handles righties. So he's done a great job, and also been a little bit versatile, on the defensive side, which has been great.
Yeah, and that's a key. And you got a couple of youngsters in Josh Moreland and Alec Makarevich who have both hitting over 300, and they've both, we've kind of seen them rise to the top as far as being a star on this team.
Yeah, for sure. Both guys have done a really good job continuing to progress, and Josh, Moreland has, really from the time he stepped foot on campus, he's handled really good pitching and done a great job, handled our staff well. So we knew that would carry over. He's a really an elite hitter, and AMAC has just continued to get big hit after big hit.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch for him just because he shows up. He's worked so hard. Another guy who didn't play a ton last year in his brief time here before COVID hit, but just showed up at practice every single day and, got the most out of it. And to see it kind of pay off as a coach is pretty rewarding.
You got true freshmen, you got COVID freshmen, you got all kinds of different.
We'll let you keep it all track.
Yeah, exactly. We'll try to run them down. All right, let's take a commercial break right now. Jeff Palumbo's live in the studio. We'll continue on with this Tuesday edition of the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. We did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back. Jeff Palumbo live in the studio. Got about 15 minutes or so to go in our show. Memphis Tigers come to town. Back-to-back home weekend sets for East Carolina. That's not bad when you pick to win the conference and get your first 8 conference games at home. So that's a little bit of an advantage for the Pirates. Memphis comes to town at 11-15, 1-3 in league play after falling 3 out of 4 times to Tulane. Memphis beat Tulane in the opener 4-3. You've probably seen some videotape of this. And then they lost 7-1, 11-2, and get to. So the other 3 games weren't really close. Memphis is 1-11 this season in games away from Memphis, Tennessee. And they've played a difficult schedule.
They have.
They've played teams number 2 Arkansas, or when Arkansas was ranked 2nd in the nation, lost 2 games to them. When Vanderbilt was ranked 2nd, they lost to them. And when Ole Miss was ranked 4th in the nation, they lost to them. So, you're looking at a skewed deal, I guess, a little bit, because they haven't had a lot of success, but they've played some really good teams.
They have. They've challenged themselves, and obviously walking into Tulane and winning on game 1. I believe it was Thursday night that they played, but walking into game 1, I mean, look, like I said, everybody in this conference is going to be talented enough to beat you if you don't play your brand of baseball, and they have one of the better position players in the conference, no question. Really good arm out of the bullpen. So there are some pieces that absolutely we need to make sure we're ready to play on Friday and ready to go.
Coach O made a great point when he looked at the whole ramifications of these 4-game sets, and if you can win in these 4-game sets, because you can build an advantage, and teams are going to have trouble catching up. If you can get to a certain point. Now, obviously, we go back, and Coach Godwin will say we take 1 pitch at a time, 1 game at a time. But if you look at the big scale of things, the more you can win, obviously, the better advantage you're going to have. But in this case, it's just going to be hard for teams to come back in the standings.
You're not tricking me. 1 game at a time. 1 game at a time.
That's the same look that Cliff gives me.
Yeah, one game at a time.
Not tricking me.
No, yeah. I mean, look, it really is. They all count the same, and obviously it's like I said, we really do try to get caught up and just go play our baseball, because look, we feel like if we do that, they're not going to beat us. I mean, really, they're not going to beat us. Not often. Not regularly, right. Not consistently. And so, as long as we continue to improve and continue to get better, so you can look at it both ways too. You have a certain lead, but if you go out and you lose 4 in a row, they can go quick.
Yeah, so that's that part. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So at the end of the day, like you said, we're at home. We've played very well at home, and we want to continue to separate ourselves. And we get our first opportunity to separate ourselves, I guess, from the rest of the pack here on Friday at 1 o'clock.
What are some of the things you've seen that you want to tweak at practice, that you want to get the guys together and say, okay, we didn't execute this play very well. What happened here? How do we fix it? That kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're doing rundowns today. We had a rundown. We didn't execute, so we'll get back to it and just and I think there's a combination of things. You identify things that you feel like, hey, we need to sharpen that back up a little bit, and as I said, in baseball, because of the nature of play a weekend series, off day, practice, maybe play or play maybe an off day, and then you're back in your weekend series. So it's you don't get a chance to some of the finer things that you were working on all preseason. You had it scripted out. Hey, we got to cover this and cover that and cover that. You kind of lose sight, and you start to really go towards what is the most important, and you may not hit on everything. So it'll give us a chance to really get back into fine tuning all areas, and we'll definitely cover the things that we didn't do as well as we'd like. But also, you kind of, as a coach, you want to make sure you're looking ahead and just staying sharp in general.
I remember the rundown you're talking about. Is that a situation where guys are in certain positions for the situation at hand, and then the pickoff kind of is like, we got to go into this mode, and maybe somebody didn't react exactly right?
Yeah, we were in a right-handed shift, so Connor was behind second base in that particular play, and Josh got it. And the base runner did a little bit in that specific play, did a little bit of something unordinary, kind of started, stopped, and that made Josh a little bit hesitant on how to handle the play, and just the timing, more than anything, got broken down. And obviously, again, we need to shore that up a little bit, because it'll happen again. So make sure we're ready and prepared.
Yeah, it's one of those old baseball adages, stay ahead of the runner type thing. And and pitchers are taught if they if a runner's half and half, you run right straight at them, that kind of thing. I mean, some of these things you learn way back in the day, but when the heat's on,
that's coaching, right? You got to give them a chance to execute what you practiced, and that's easier, as you mentioned, easier said than done when it happens and it matters.
But at 22-5, I would say that there have been very few plays like that throughout the 27 games.
Yeah, I mean, no question. I mean, as a coach, it's again, I'm on the phone with recruits often, and they're saying, Coach, you guys are doing great. You're playing great. You're ranked this, you're ranked that. And I'm like, yeah, but I remember the 3 plays we didn't do a very good job of.
That's what coaches do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it is. You got to take a step back and realize the guys have, for the most part, showed up And that's something we preach all the time. And again, why I think that Coach Godwin's teams are so consistent is because generally speaking, we show up ready to go. And over the course of 60 games, 56 games, that's going to be enough to win some games because teams don't necessarily do that. And I think, maybe the wear and tear of the 4-game set, you saw that a little bit out of them on game 4. They were just kind of ready to, I think, head back to Cincy, and we were able to scratch a couple, which was enough.
When you look at some of the other items that go into preparing for a 4-game series, is there anything this week that you change from last week, your preparations? And it's a different 4-game series this time because you have the doubleheader early on Friday, but was there anything you want to say, hey, maybe we need to do this differently?
Well, a little bit of a different week just because we don't have the midweek game that we had with Carolina, the week before. So I think going into this week, I would hope and think that, hey, we're going to be a little bit more fresh. We also have, as I was talking to my wife, but I said, I'm not sure I've gone in season in a college baseball season this length of time because you add in we finished on Saturday, so you got the extra day of Sunday, and then you don't play until Friday, and I'm not sure I've had a 6-day stretch like that. So we should be very, very fresh, and it'll give us the opportunity to do that, which, again, middle of the season, you don't get that a whole lot. So really want to, I think Coach really wants to try to make sure we utilize that time, but at the same point, stay sharp and ready to go for Friday.
What was it like to have fans back in the stands when you got to look around and then hear the purple gold chant and see folks out there?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it really, even the Carolina game, I don't know what there was, 1,800 or so. I'm not even sure, but it felt like 4,000. I mean, they were loud. Yeah. It was really, I felt like the first taste of kind of being back into, Clark LeClaire when it was rocking and rolling. So a lot of fun, and I think as the weather continues to warm up and we continue to play good baseball, hopefully it'll continue to be like that on a nightly basis.
Did you see the Texas Rangers video from their home opener? It was packed, and it almost brought a tear to my eye because I thought, man, that's what it's like. Because I've missed the fans. I didn't think I would miss them that much. I miss sports tremendously, but when they started playing again, but it was kind of like the NBA games, and it's like an AAU tournament.
Not the same feel.
Not the same at all. I mean, all the fans there, it was nuts.
I actually did not see the video, but I mean, you see old videos now of old games and highlights, and you're like, that looks so out of place, which is kind of sad to think about. And hopefully we can get back to, real soon, safely back to kind of what was going on over in Texas.
Jeff Palumbo, our guest. We'll take our final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show. We'll pass out our awards for the second chance with the Sweet 16. We'll announce our winner, and that's coming up right after this.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges.
And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group.
We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates.
That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates.
We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home.
Cheers, Pirate Nation.
I like the sound of that.
Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
Are you a true football fan? Then Tiebreakers has the best seat for watching your favorite college and NFL teams. With 24 HD TVs, you'll see and hear all the hard-hitting action, and with our freshly prepared food, your taste buds will absolutely go crazy. Grab your friends and come on into Tiebreakers, where it's 100% football every Saturday and Sunday. With ESPN College Game Plan and the NFL Sunday Ticket, we promise you will not find a better place to watch football and eat in Greenville. Tiebreakers, food, sports, friends.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
The whole family's home. It's almost time to eat again, but you don't feel like cooking again. So close the microwave, put away that box of instant whatever, drop your spatula, pick up the phone, and get a big bow box delivered with 8 pieces of legendary fried chicken, fluffy buttermilk biscuits, fixins, and tea. Because no one ever said a home-cooked meal has to be cooked at home. Just tap your favorite delivery app for a big bow box at your front door. And it's bow time.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Seared Chop House is Greenville's newest restaurant and the city's only true chop house. We combine a remarkable menu with an unrivaled atmosphere. Seared, a quality-driven experience highlighting a thoughtful approach to locally sourced ingredients and hearty, flavor-rich cuisine. We're firing up the grill at Seared, Greenville's only true chop house. Come see us, Fire Tower Road at Bells Fork or SearedChophouse.com.
This is Marcus Crandall, former ECU Pirate and Grey Cup champion. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, wrapping things up with Jeff Palumbo, Associate Head Coach at East Carolina Pirate Baseball under Head Coach Cliff Godwin. First place in our second chance for the Sweet 16 contest goes to Jenny Shelton from Pirate Radio. She called in that day and she got her picks in. She was the only one to get 3 out of 4 Final Four teams and to take Baylor to win the national championship. And our final score, 75-67, was fairly close. I mean, it was a little bit more of a blowout, but the Baylor Bears win the national championship, so we'll get Jenny her prizes. I want to thank the fine folks at Greenville Auto World for presenting us with that complete detail package. That $50 gift card from Bojangles, a great sponsor, and Pizza Night from Papa John's. So we'll get that prize pack to Miss Jenny, and thank everybody for participating. Harder than you think it is, trying to get the Final Four, the last two, and then the national champion. Maybe we'll do something like that for the NCAA baseball tournament coming up. Now, there is news on that front before we let you go. It was released yesterday that it's going to be an earlier announcement for the 16 regional sites, so we'll know those sites earlier this year, and the way it read is predetermined super regional sites. It's kind of confusing, isn't it?
Definitely confusing. I think they're still working through the details in terms of how they're going to, what host sites they're going to utilize. So even as coaches, we're still kind of waiting to see how this all plays out, and the administration will continue to handle that side of it, but as we talked about, obviously there's not much we can control, and except for us going out and playing our best baseball and putting ourselves in the best possible situation for them to hopefully feel like Greenville is the place they want to hold the NCAA regional and do our part to hopefully host the Super.
Next up, East Carolina and the Memphis Tigers. Pitching rotations, does it stay the same this week?
It will be slightly different. So Gavin Williams will throw game 1 on Friday with Carson Wisenhunt going game 2, followed by Jay Cooch Manor on Saturday and Tyler Smith on Sunday.
Okay, and so and really when you look at the pitching matchups and what they bring to the table, I mean, obviously Gavin, with what he did the last couple of weeks, I mean, he's got it rolling, doesn't he?
He does. He's throwing the baseball great. He's throwing the baseball great, and obviously had a great outing, winning AAC Pitcher of the Week, and he's a good week of practice and preparation, and hopefully continue to take the ball and really just be himself.
4 wins last weekend, 4 more wins coming up this weekend, Coach. What do you got?
Well, we play Friday at 1.
What?
So
one pitch at a time.
That's right. First pitch at 102, probably, if I had to guess.
I would say 102.
That's it.
Do you get a lot of response from the recruits and stuff for the ESPN Plus package and stuff?
It's awesome. It's been great, and it's been great just for recruiting to be able to say, hey, hop online and check out the Pirates, and especially when we can't have as many fans here, to Clark O'Clair, it's great for them to be able to hop on and just it's really been great. So I know obviously I deal with recruits more than anybody, but just even alums and fans to be able to pop that on. I know when I go home at night, my 7-year-old's got whatever college he's getting the scouting report on Tulane. He's watching Tulane or whoever. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Jeff Palumbo, Associate Head Coach for East Carolina Pirate Baseball. Thanks so much, Coach. We certainly enjoyed the visit. I was telling Coach during the commercial, it's kind of like just sitting in the stands and chatting when I have somebody like this on, because these are questions I have in my head, and I hope the the listeners appreciate them, but it's just something that I like to know about this and that. And I love the game of baseball. I love to watch, some of the things that go on. I like, so we talked about chippiness and chippy games and stuff like that, but, the umpires' relationships with the coaches and just all of that's fascinating to me.
I'll tell you what, I had one this weekend. The umpire that did our game 1 behind the plate and game 4 behind the plate, he was over at first base game 3. He looked at me and he said, "Hey, you have a Michigan tie?" I said, "I don't. My wife's from Michigan. I don't have any ties." And turns out he went to high school with my wife and his Caledonia, Michigan. So, hey, you never know, and you do. And now we're getting a whole new batch of umpires. So you get all the AAC guys, and so you kind of know which ones are which and how to handle them, and leave that up to the boss, Coach Godwin, to handle them accordingly.
Jeff Palumbo, our guest. That is our show for today, and we'll see you back here next week. Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina, will be with us Monday at noon right here on the Brian Bailey Show. Have a great week, everybody.
This has been the Brian Bailey Show, brought to you by
Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Angus Grill, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, and by Tiebreakers.
Join us next time for another edition of the Brian Bailey Show, exclusively on Pirate Radio, the